Hey everybody, welcome to Mismatch Readers Club. My name is Eliza and I have Hannah here. We are two friends here to talk books, overthink characters, and occasionally, more often than not, probably go completely off topic.
Oh, we're going off topic. It's happening. We're going off topic.
That's Hannah, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm Hannah. That's Eliza.
Anyway, we thought we should start by introducing ourselves a little bit because none of you know who we are. Unless you do. And in that case, keep your mouth shut. We have been friends for coming up to 15 years, which is a long ass time.
Yeah, when we sat at that cafe working out how long we had been friends, it made me confront my own mortality in a way that didn't actually feel good. Like, I was like, yeah, we've been friends for like maybe 10 years. And then it was like, oh no, we met when we were 18. And because we're old as fuck, that now means that we're actually 33, turning 34.
Yeah, it hurts a lot.
It hurt. Well, yeah, it hurts for me more. I'm
But
older.
we were internet friends at first because, I mean, we're millennials. So
We were,
honestly, if you haven't made a friend through the internet as a millennial, what are you doing with yourself?
we specifically met because we were both on Tumblr. I don't think
R.I.P. Tumblr.
R.I.P. Tumblr.
It's still around, but
It's
no one
still
uses
there.
it. So we became friends via the internet, and then that transitioned into a real life friendship, which has lasted well over a decade.
Over a decade situationships. And now we are, God, I'm sick of hearing myself say already. Now we are like adult people who have corporate jobs and long-term partners.
Horrifying. We're adults.
In some cases, children, not me.
Yes, I have children.
Yeah, I'm the gay aunt.
Gay aunt in a gay aunt in a straight relationship.
Straight appearing relationship. Don't
True.
embarrass me.
I apologize. I mean, I'm not straight. I am in a straight relationship.
Yeah,
but I am also not straight.
Yeah. And you have so Eliza has her life together more than I have my life together.
Hardly.
It looks like it though.
You have more of a career than I do.
Oh, kind of. I don't know. You've got a longer contract at your job at the moment.
That's a fair point.
So
you have a higher paying job, a higher position than I do.
That is true.
So,
which unfortunately means
more responsibility.
I comport myself in a certain way. Which I have told my boss that I'm starting a podcast, and she was fine with it. She just said I'm not allowed to say where I work, so I'm not saying where I work.
Where I work just kind of goes in hand with not telling anyone where you work.
Yes, we now work, and also in our many years of friendship, Eliza did abandon me and moved to Queensland for how fucking long were you in Queensland for?
Nearly 8 years.
Nearly 8 years. We had many iterations of how we were going to do this podcast during COVID and different things we were going to do. We were going to do true crime for a little bit.
Then we were going to move into like paranormal stuff or like just general mystery based things.
So we've done various iterations, but now it is much easier because Eliza has decided to no longer abandon me and is living in Adelaide again. Thank fucking God. So that's kind of
that's how this podcast came to be. We're both avid readers. We have been for a long time. I had a period where I read a lot and then I stopped. I kind of did the typical millennial. You read like a mad person as a child, and then you reach young adulthood and life gets too busy, so you stop reading. And then I started reading again, and I've basically not had a book in my hand since. I've never not had a book in my hand or had a book on the go.
Whereas I was very much an avid reader from childhood up until my early 20s, and then I went to uni and I did English literature and also art history. And I had to read so many books for uni that it took me a really long time to not read a book as a uni assignment. So there was a period where I didn't read much. And then I worked a really intense hospitality job for a while, and I didn't read much when I was doing that because it was just make coffee, eat, sleep, repeat for about 4 years. Genuinely.
I was managing restaurants at about the same time.
Yeah, horrible. All we got out of it was carpal tunnel.
And a crippling caffeine addiction.
Yeah. So then, I have started reading again pretty avidly since then. Last 2025 was, I think, my lowest reading year in the past 4 years.
I was reading sporadically. I had a few book series that I would read here and there, but I definitely picked back up maybe in the second half of 2024. And then once I started reading, it ramped up.
Yeah. 2023, I think, was the year I set myself an actual reading challenge where I was like, I want to, because I can speed read, I can read very, very fast. 2023 was the year I set myself a really, really intense reading challenge, and I was like, I'm going to read 52 books this year, and I read 55, and I have never matched that since. So I think 2024 I did 40-ish.
I set myself the overly ambitious goal of 100 books last year.
Did you even read?
I read 89.
Jesus Christ. Last year.
And I had 2 months of the year where I
Wait,
read...
we're talking 2025 or 2024?
2025.
Okay, cool. Right.
2025.
Last year to me is still 2024 because it's only like a week into January.
Yeah, truly.
And by a week, I mean the end of January, but whatever.
That's fine. January is 1 week in totality.
1 week and 6 months.
I set a goal of 100 books and I knew it was very lofty. I got to 89, which given that... So July was the month that I moved from Queensland back to South Australia. I read 1 book in July. And then at the end of August, I hit a very debilitating reading slump. I had some health issues going on, so I was very tired and unwell a lot. I just had no energy or motivation to read. And I read 2 books that month. So if I'd read at the average pace that I had read for the rest of the year, I probably would have hit 100.
Yeah.
But I had other life things happened.
I think, but like even like the year that I read the 55 books, if you look at like, because I use Storygraph to track things, it was like January, I read heaps of books. And then there is periods like July that year, I did not read a single book. And then it was like I think when I took some leave from work and I had like a whole long weekend, I read 6 books that weekend. So it's real fits and starts for me.
Yeah.
It can take me a little bit to get going.
I mean, I did that in October. I was on medical leave in October basically for all but like 3 days of the month. I worked out and I did nothing for most of that.
I think it was understandable.
Absolutely. But it occurred to me in like my last week of leave, I could have read so many damn books and then I read 4 books in like 4 days. So I actually set myself a goal with a couple of the days where I was like, I picked shorter books. And for me, a short book is like anything less than 400 pages.
We're very different people, which is how we've come to this podcast.
I read a thriller book and I picked up a thriller first because I was like, I know I burn through thrillers very quickly.
Yeah.
Because the pacing of them is usually really good. And their stories suck you in. I read predominantly fantasy with thrillers and the occasional horror or the occasional contemporary book thrown in there. But I picked up a thriller first because I knew I burned through them.
Yeah.
And I think it was just shy of 300 pages, like 280-ish pages. I read it in 3 hours.
Love that. Well,
then that sort of got me back into that sort of process of reading.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about reading slumps at some point as well and how we get out of them.
Or get into them. Because I think I've somehow worked out how I get into a reading slump, which is, I think sometimes everyone talks about getting out to it, but I think sometimes it's good to recognize what's putting you into a reading slump.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't tell you what puts me into a reading slump. Usually a book that
just
destroys me emotionally.
I've done a lot of introspection and I know what is putting me into a reading slump.
Or I read a series that takes over my entire life and then I either finish it or get to the point where there's no more books out at this point and then I'm like, I don't want to read anything else.
But
I just want the next book.
Is that a book slump or is that a book hangover?
Good point. It's probably more of a hangover.
But I
have book hangovers that turn into slumps. Because then nothing else gives me the high that this series did, and I then read nothing. Or I read things and I'm just like, it was fine.
It was fine. It was okay. So should we talk about how you describe me and I describe you? If I was to describe us as a double act, I would say Eliza is tall, fast and loud, and I'm short, fast and loud. The identifying feature of our friendship is Eliza is a lot taller than I am.
But anyway, let's talk about books.
That was really a big tangent. So basically, we're going to do we have a wheel. We're going to do the intro episodes, which will probably be 2 episodes. One is going to have some of the introduction part that Eliza hasn't chopped because we've been talking for so long. And we've done a wheel that has a whole bunch of different book-related questions on it, and that's going to be episode 0, which is the introduction one, and episode 1, where we're just going to go through because we thought it was a good way for people to understand what type of readers we are. I guess that also the other part we didn't talk about when we're trying to describe ourselves is Eliza spoke about the books that she reads. I didn't really talk about the books that I read. I read a lot of lit fic because I'm pretentious, according to Eliza. And I read a lot of...
I didn't say you were pretentious. I said lit fic is pretentious.
Yes, I understand. But I read a lot of lit fic. I read a lot of art criticism, and I also read a lot of essay collections. And contemporary literature is kind of where I like. It's like the sweet spot for me.
You read a lot of classics too.
I read a lot
more than I do.
I read a lot of classics.
Hannah reads mostly lit fic and contemporary stuff. I won't say exclusively a fantasy reader. I read predominantly fantasy. Predominantly fantasy. I read a little bit of contemporary romance. And when I say fantasy, I read both high fantasy and fantasy romance. I'm
Mhm.
not exclusive to either. I like to change it up with them. I do like a bit of sci-fi here and there, a little bit of horror. I read fairly diversively.
Yeah,
I
you do.
at least attempt to read diversively. And I do love me a good thriller.
Okay.
All right. On to
Let's
some
get
questions.
into questions. I'm older, so I'm spinning the wheel first.
Okay, go for your life.
Okay.
I'll flip to the
so-
wheel in my.
Who is your favorite animal sidekick from a book you read? Also, we didn't write these questions. We just put,
Yes.
I think Eliza found some from like Goodreads. I found some from just Googling
Yeah,
around, I
we can
think.
take no creative license
No,
from this.
Yeah, no
It
creative
was
license.
Google cut and paste.
It was good. Favorite animal sidekick from a book you read? I don't like. It's not even an animal. It's the only thing I can think of at the moment.
You're going to say Bartholomew.
I'm going to say Bartholomew. I'm going to say Bartholomew. I love that little bitch. It's. I'm currently reading. Eliza recommended it to me, and it's not normally kind of what I would read, but I'm reading. What's it called? The Night and the Moth.
The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig.
Really good. Didn't expect it to, but there's a stone gargoyle in it who is so fucking irritating, and I love him. I think he's so fun.
I'm going to say a recent one I read only because I can't think of any other, and that is Kingsley from the Assistant to the Villain trilogy. He is a frog who communicates with teeny tiny little signs.
I love him already. That's so cute.
He is so funny. He can communicate so much with just one word
I love him
or
already.
2 words. That's
I
it.
love him. I love
He's
an
great.
animal sidekick. We had a really good animal sidekick in our
There is a
previous
twist
D&D.
around him, and I won't. I mean, he's a tiny frog wearing a crown. So do with that information what
Princess
you will.
and the Frog? No. The Princess and the Frog kind of vibe I'm getting from that. I might have that
I'm
wrong.
going to spoil a little bit. The first book came out ages ago. He is a prince that has
Right.
been enchanted into a frog,
Okay. Well, we love the frog guy.
and he wears a crown. It used to be, I think it used to be his ring, but he wears it as a crown, as a frog. It's excellent.
Cute.
Love that.
Love that. All right. Spin for a question.
Do you dog ear your books or do you use a bookmark?
I dog ear my books,
I cannot.
and I have been roasted about this so often, particularly by my mother and also by my older brother, because he hates it. He really, really hates it. There was actually a book recently that I bought and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to read this soon. And I didn't, but I knew he wanted to read it. So I lent it to him before I got to it so that it wasn't dog-eared. Because I was like, at least I basically bought the book for him because I was like, at least I can kind of head off him telling me off about dog-earing it.
It's honestly surprising that you dog ear, given you used to utilize libraries more than I did. And-
I will use a bookmark if I'm using a library book.
Yeah.
But a bookmark is whatever piece of paper is closest
Oh,
to
yeah,
me, or
I've
like a
been known to do that
Polaroid or
too.
something. Whatever.
I actually,
Do you dog ear? You don't dog ear your
no, I
books,
do
do
not
you?
dog ear my books.
Okay, noted.
If I'm absolutely desperate, actually no, if I'm absolutely desperate, I will use a fucking tissue.
Also,
Not a used one,
gross.
just to clarify, a clean tissue. Like I will use literally anything to avoid dog earing my books.
That's fair.
But
Although
I also have a lot of bookmarks because I subscribe to a couple of different book subscription boxes, and you always get a bookmark in those.
Yeah.
So I have a collection of bookmarks to use.
Cute.
So that's
Although
kinda
I
why.
actually just made bookmarks because in our D&D group, Jess, who we play with, is also an avid reader. And I'm not going to get into it because I'll talk for fucking 45 minutes about our campaign. Jess and I are in the same guild. So we are in the same guild, and I have just gotten into making lino cuts because I have to have a hobby on the go at all times. And I made us guild-themed lino cuts.
Yeah.
Lino cut bookmarks,
Oh, fun.
which I haven't used. It's just sitting on my desk. But I've given it to Jess.
It's
And
a piece of art.
it's a piece of art on my desk.
I mean, look, to be fair, at the moment I'm bookmarking with like annotating tabs because I am attempting to not annotate. I will not write in my books, but I will tab them.
I think that is a question for later.
I think it is too. But
Also,
that's fine.
I will say, like, if I borrow a book off of someone, like if I borrow a book off of my brother, I'm not going to be dog-earing it because
But if it's your own property,
he doesn't want his books dog-eared. It's the same as like if I borrow a book off of my mum or friends who, if I borrowed a book off of you, I wouldn't dog-ear it.
I might skin you alive.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
Oh.
I'll deal with that when it happens. All right, I'm spinning for another question. Have you ever made a playlist for a book you are reading?
No.
Really?
No, I haven't.
Interesting. I would have thought that you
I
would have
don't do that like immersive reading thing. I will put on, if I'm reading in my lounge room, or sometimes if I'm reading here, I'll do it on my computer. I will put on like an ambient video, usually like one of those nice ones on YouTube that have like a fireplace with like maybe rain
do
sounds
you know,
or fire crackling.
I actually tried that for the first time because I used to be able to listen to music and read at the same time
I cannot.
and not not have any problem with that, but I seem to not be able to do that as much as I'm getting older. But I did like the ambient one, and it was just like storm sounds. It was like such a good reading experience.
Yeah.
I truly entered flow
I can
state,
do like ambient sounds or that sort of like lo-fi-y. If it's music that sort of fits
lo-fi
the vibe.
beats to study show.
Not quite. Lo-fi is the wrong kind of word.
I know what you mean, though.
But you know, when like the ambient music, and I will try and find one that fits the vibe of the book that I'm reading. So if I'm reading a fantasy novel, I will try and find something that has like maybe a bit of like string section or like, and then maybe some storm sounds or rain sounds or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's usually only with fantasy novels because I really want to immerse myself. If I'm just reading a thriller, I just sit there and read it.
I have definitely made a playlist for a book before. I think I made a playlist when I read The Raven Cycle because I was real into that. I was all into that. I think I made a playlist. I couldn't tell you where the playlist is now, but I've definitely done that. Or because I used to listen to music, like when I was on the bus to uni, I used to listen to music on the way down and read at the same time. There are songs now that I associate completely with the book that I was reading.
I can understand that.
Even if there's absolutely no correlation between the two songs. So yes, I have. No, Eliza hasn't.
And kind of on the playlist thing, it's similar but different. Some people are very into, like I said about immersive reading before, they will listen to the audiobook while they read. I cannot.
I think that's weird. Oh no, that didn't pause on a very good
No, it's fine.
vibe.
I can't do it.
Because like audiobook the same time. I don't think I would. I think I wouldn't be able to read at the same.
Yeah, people have to jack their audio speed all the way up, and I'm like, it just. So I don't know if it's a question here, but I'm going to answer it now, regardless. So when you listen to audiobooks, what speed?
Just regular speed. Like I don't.
Me too.
I don't change the speed.
So many people, I see people on social media being like, I can't listen to anything below like 1.7. I'm like, how do you know what they're saying?
No, I wouldn't be.
I want the experience. I want the cinematic experience of listening to an audiobook.
Also, we listen to audiobooks differently, I think, though, because I don't listen to fiction. This is definitely a question coming up, but I don't listen to fiction audiobooks.
I do.
Because I can't. I need to be able to, if I'm reading a fictional story, I need to be able to read it on the page. It's like something about it. Because I think it's because like I listen to like essay collections or like non-fiction books.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that I can listen to on audiobooks because I can kind of like I'll listen
more podcasty.
Yeah, and like I'll listen to it while I'm doing work, but it'll be like low effort work. Like it might just be like really simple data entry or something like that. And I will listen to a non-fiction audiobook at the same time.
I listen to fiction audiobooks, but I don't read much non-fiction, so.
No, you don't. Okay,
All right.
Are you going to spin the wheel?
I am indeed. Thoughts on prologues and epilogues?
I think they're fine.
I do too. I don't have an issue with them. I think prologues are better than epilogues.
Yeah, I like a prologue that gives you a little bit of kind of
context,
a little bit. The book that I just read had a really good prologue, I thought, in it, and that was good. But I think I don't like epilogues that feel like they're visionary.
I like a prologue where it gives you like the happenings of an event, but you don't necessarily know what the event is.
Yeah.
And then like and this happens, I think, probably predominantly in thrillers where you'll get an event happen and, you know, you sort of read it in real time. And then throughout the course of the book, they uncover what happens. But you get given no information about like, say the prologue is somebody being murdered. You might know who the victim is. You get the victim's name, but you don't get any information on like who the killer is. You just kind of get the scene. Yeah. And then throughout the course of the book, you discuss, like you learn about what happens and who it is and things like that.
Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts either way. Like, I think they're fine.
Epilogues to me kind of bother me because a lot of the time it's just like 10 years later.
Yeah, 10 years later and they're happy and perfect. And it's like, but how did they get to that point? What happened in the last... If you're going to tell me about 10 years later, just write the 10... Like write the
I think sometimes it's nice. I think it's nice when it's at the end of like quite a long series.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If it's just at the end of like a singular book or like a duology or something, it feels reductive. But I think if it's at the end of like a 5, 6, 7, however many book long series, when you've been there for so long through so much, I think getting that like slightly future, like down the line closure is nice.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I don't like... most of the books I read are standalones, so they don't really have an epilogue in them.
So I will enjoy an epilogue if it's in the similar vein to a prologue where you're getting a scene that ends up being like a bit of a cliffhanger for the next book.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, you're getting a teaser into the next story.
I think it just, I guess it would depend. Like, you read more series than I do, so they would make more sense in there.
Okay. All right, so we have no real opinions on prologues and epilogues.
Did you meet your reading goals for the year? No.
Not quite. We did talk about this already. Not quite. I read 89 out of 100.
And I read 20, I think I said 23. I think I read 23 out of 25.
Okay.
Which
So
wasn't,
we both got close, but not quite.
yeah, I just didn't get to it. And
Alright,
I
we
also
don't
need to set more realistic goals.
Don't talk to me about realistic goals.
Book that surprised you.
I mean, this could be either in a good or a bad way.
Yeah, and is it like, is the plot surprising or am I surprised that I
anything.
like it? I'm not sure.
This is a harder question. The closest thing I probably have is, so there's a book that came out last year. I'm not going to talk too much about the origins of it, but Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. Everybody raved about it.
Oh, is that massive brick of a book?
Yes.
With the real, like the Bible page thinness?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
It's over 1,000 pages long. It's very
That's
long.
fucked up.
People, and this could be a me thing, people talked about it like it's the best book ever written. It's based off of fan fiction. That's about all I'll say. If anyone,
If you're online,
if you're online, you probably know what it is.
Mm.
But it's based on fan fiction, and everyone talked about it like it was the most devastating this and that and the other. It was people rating it like, 6 stars, this and that. I gave it like 4.5. Like, I enjoyed it. And the only reason I gave it 4.5 is because when I finished it, I could not stop thinking about that book for like 24 hours.
Oh,
The story sat with me.
Yeah.
So, like, it was good. It was excellently written. It was well paced. The story was the plot was good. It's definitely marketed wrong. It is not really a fantasy novel. I would almost say it's a war novel.
Okay.
But like in, I guess, a fantasy-esque setting.
Yeah.
Especially given the source material. So yeah, I don't know. And it is, I mean, it's dark.
Yeah.
They were saying it's really, really dark. I didn't struggle through it as much as some people are saying they did. But that just could be a result of my own personal trauma.
Yeah, or it could just be a result of the books that you read and stuff.
I did really enjoy it, but I went into it with very, very high expectations, and it fell ever so slightly short for me. But it stuck with me, so I did still rate it quite highly. So, and that was the first book I read this year. It was a behemoth.
Yeah, that's a big undertaking for the beginning of the year.
I read it in 8 days.
think a book that surprised me, I think I read it a couple years ago now, but it's called If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English by Noor Naga. And it played a lot with form and different writing styles, and the kind of twist at the end I did not see coming at all. And it was a short book, so it was short, tight storytelling. And I thought it was one of those ones where it's I sat down and read the whole book in one sitting because it was so engaging.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably that one. I think
Did it surprise you in the sense that you didn't expect as much out of it as you got?
It surprised me as in I didn't see the big twist at the end coming.
Yeah.
And when I started reading it, I didn't see her being able, which is I've never read anything by that author before, but the particular writing style, I was kind of I don't know if she's going to be able to sustain this writing style,
Yeah.
or maybe that's not the right way of saying it. I don't know if I can be sustained by this writing style.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will keep me engaged enough. And it really kept me engaged.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a great book. I was shocked by the end. It was good. I liked it.
All right, moving on.
All right, next question. Favorite book covers top 3.
Oh, shit.
I have this. It's okay. I'm prepared because I looked this up when I was on the bus on the way here. Let me bring up my...
I filmed a video for my TikTok about some of my favourite book covers, and would you believe I've forgotten almost every single one of them?
I actually don't think I saved all of them. Oh, no. Anyway, book 1 would be The Garden Against Time by Olivia Lang, which is this one.
Pretty.
It was really nice. Then the book that I just finished reading, I picked it up in the bookstore because the cover was so striking to me, and it did end up being a really great book. The original by Nell Stevens. And then the other one that I can think of off of the top of... Or actually, no, I can think of 2, which is the original Book Thief cover, which is it's a parchmenty kind of... It looks like, and it's got the little drawing on the front of it. That was really cool. And the other one has just gone out of my head. Oh, no, The Wax Child, but specifically the hardcover, because there's 2 different covers. The paperback one has a baby bassinet with smoke coming out of it, and then the other one, the hardcover one that I really like, has a woman in profile, but her face is obscured by flames. It looks very cool, which was also a great book.
I am going to refrain from answering this question because I can't think of a single book cover to save my life.
taking it on notice.
Yeah, genuinely.
Politician. Oh,
What book would you recommend to your parent, and what book would you recommend to your best friend? We'll obviously do this for each other. And are they the same book? Mine are categorically not the same book.
I don't think mine would be the same either.
I would recommend First Time Caller by B.K. Borison for my mum. She loves a rom-com, and it's a very, very well done rom-com. I think she would thoroughly enjoy it.
I think it would depend a little bit. I think I would, knowing what my mum likes, I would probably recommend Mum Carla by Colin Walsh, which I have actually also recommended to you and everyone I know. I would probably recommend that. If I wanted to cause psychic damage to my mother, I would recommend her Cure by Catherine Brabham, who is an Australian author. But she wrote a book about, like, her most recent book is about a woman who has rheumatoid arthritis, and then her daughter who has chronic fatigue or a similar kind of disease, which is a little too close to home for me and my mother.
Yeah, I was going to say, who wrote about your life?
Yeah, literally. It's it's much like it's set against a beautiful backdrop in Italy, so it's like a great book. But yeah, I'd probably say Carla. She would probably read that the most. And then for you, I recommend you a lot of books, but I always preface it by going, I know you're not going to read this, but I'll recommend it to you anyway.
Yeah.
I guess like The Wax Child is really good. Also, I think you would like the original by Nell Stevens, which I just read, which is like set in like it's like 1899 is when it's set.
Yeah.
Got a lot of art stuff in it, which I love. But then it's also, there's like a mystery in the middle of it.
I can get
and it's just good. It also was like a really quick read.
This is the thing. I would probably enjoy a lot of lit fic books. I just don't gravitate towards them.
I think that's the thing is, also it's the same as like you just like Eliza, well, I can talk about what book you recommended me. Like when you recommended
what else
me.
I want to think about what else I'd recommend you.
When we were at Dimmicks, you were just ripping books off shelves being like, you would read this, you would read this.
Just pull them out left, right and center.
You just recommended me The Night and the Moth, which I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me is like I don't want to get shooters in the chat, but like there is so much shit out there, especially with like dark romantasy and stuff like that. It's like I don't want to filter through all of that. I want someone to tell me what is good to read.
Yeah, the market is very oversaturated with romantasy right now, which is something we're going to talk about in a future episode.
Yes, we're going to controversial takes.
Yeah,
well, is it controversial takes one? I don't know.
We're going to talk about book trends in an upcoming episode. So
yeah, going back to Eliza being type A, we agreed to make a podcast, and then Eliza made a Google Drive and immediately planned like 4 episodes and everything like that. And I was like, what if I draw the logo?
Yeah.
And that was my contribution.
Yeah, truly. Yeah.
I made the pick a wheel for the question.
But we talked about like romantasy is very much oversaturating the book space nowadays. Again, we'll talk about it later. So it is hard. It can be hard to filter through things that someone who doesn't read much fantasy would like. Given that I know the style of writing you like, it makes it easy for me who reads a lot of fantasy to know what she would and wouldn't like. And I can recommend things based on nice writing or if I think she'll just enjoy it because it's vibes.
Yeah, which is
but
pretty much...
I think out of the things that I've read lately, I do think you would enjoy Alchemized. I think you would enjoy the writing style of it and the story. Given the source material, I know you're not interested.
I think it's like source material. And
also it's enormous.
I've picked it up and had a look at it because I saw a lot about it online and I was still just like, this is not really grabbing me.
But I think...
There was a couple ones that you recommended to me that you thought were good. Like definitely, I'm really liking the Rachel Gilligan or whatever it is. Gilligan. Gillig. Loving that.
I would recommend Red Rising, even though it's like sci-fi-esque, but I will recommend Red Rising to...
Yeah, you've definitely
literally everybody. Or Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mast. It's Greek mythology based.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a really unique writing style. She writes in a way that I learned very recently. She has like a master's degree in ancient history with like a focus on Greek mythology.
Cool.
And she copped a bit of controversy when her second book came out last year. People be like, I don't like this writing style because it's not narrative directed. It's more conversational directed.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot more internal monologue from our main character, but it is written in a very, very specific format that lends itself towards, I think it's similar ways to like the Odyssey and stuff written where it's very, I don't know enough about writing structure, so I can't necessarily comment, but I read something and I was like, oh, okay, so she does actually know what she's talking about. But yeah, it's Greek mythology based. It's a little bit spicy. That would be more of like an unhinged recommendation for you, but like it was a 5-star vibes read for me.
I am also just like impressed at the moment. Eliza, when this question got asked, pulled up a spreadsheet that
That
appears
was
to
my
be
reading log from last year.
color coded.
Well, it's just by month. Oh, these were just like the best and worst books from each month.
Right.
That was more so for me for my reading wrap stuff, so I could remember what was what.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Is there a genre you wish you read more of? Yeah,
Same thing.
same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I want to read more lit fic. I do want to dip my toe into more historical fiction.
Yeah, I'm really liking some historical fiction at the moment. It's got to be pretty specific, but I am liking it. Also, I do want to read a little bit more horror. I had a bit of a horror. It's got to be the right type of horror though. Like I don't want to read I'm not reading Stephen King. Sorry everyone, it's just not happening. I don't want to read like gory slasher horror, but like I like a horror-ish book.
Like a horror setting. In a way.
Yeah, anything kind of like I don't want blood and gore or anything like that, but anything like ghost haunty kind of related type of things. Or I read like The Haunting of Hill House last year.
I keep meaning to
Loved
read
that.
that.
Also really easy to read. It's like 140 pages.
Yeah.
Stuff like that where it's like the house is kind of like alive
Yeah.
in the background type of thing. I think that is
I
really
have
interesting.
Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix that I have been meaning to read for a long time.
Oh no, I have Grady Hendrix on my on my TBR.
On my list of authors to read.
Yeah, on my 500 list. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I think I would be horror. You would be more lit fic.
Lit ficky, historical, probably historical fiction first.
You've got to read the original by Neil Stevens.
I know.
Gotta read it.
How do you organize your books?
Vibes. Currently they're organized by being in boxes because I'm moving house, but I have a couple of really big bookshelves and they're not really organized by any rhyme or reason. I guess it would be like all of my cookbooks are on one shelf and then all of my like art reference books are in one section and then
keep a few things genreified.
Yeah, and then like, series are always put together, but I don't have a
Absolutely.
lot of series. And then everything else is pretty much just vibes based.
I'm going to say right here, I hate a rainbow bookshelf. Get it out of my face.
I don't love them.
I just feel like just something about it. I just can't do it.
I also I don't really love an overly, type B. An overly organized, like if you're going to flip out because I'm going to take a book off and I'm going to put it slightly wrong in alphabetical order, then I'm just chill. It's fine. It's a book. It's not that deep.
Mine are pretty much the only limit I have is series going together.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have loosely organized stuff into fantasy. I have a little bit of a YA section and a little I don't have that many contemporary books, romance books. I have loose genreification, but it is very loose. The only hard and fast rule is a series goes together.
Yeah, I guess I don't read a lot of series, but I guess I group authors together. So I have all of Olivia Lang's book, and I've popped them together on the shelf. That's pretty much it.
But yeah, other than that, I'm I could barely color code my books anyway because a very large portion of them are black.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to color code them.
All right, next question.
What book are you currently reading?
Oh, I am reading 12 Secrets by Robert Gold. It is a crime thriller novel set in the UK.
Oh yeah, that was one you told me about this morning. Yeah. I'm currently reading The Night and the Moth, and I'm 100 pages from the end. But Eliza said the ending, the last 80 pages would be soul destroying, and I didn't want to read it on the bus to your place this morning. So I was like, I don't want to get upset about this. So I haven't finished it, but I'll probably finish it today, maybe. And then I'm also reading Bog Queen by Anna North, which is about a young forensic scientist finding a bog body. And I guess we'll talk about reviews at some point in a future episode, but it's not my favorite book at the moment. I was really hyped when I read the blurb because it sounded
was this the Bog Queen?
Yeah, it was and it was it sounded similar to books I really enjoyed when I was a teenager, and it's just not giving what I want it to be.
I hate it when that happens. Did you show me this when we were?
Yeah, it's got a really great cover. It's got the big colored foliage, and then it's got the a black and white female face on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, looks great. It looked great, and it sounded really good, but it's not. It might get better. I'm only 50 pages in.
It's not hitting the way you want it to.
It's not hitting the way I wanted it.
That is disappointing.
To hit.
12 Secrets is landing quite well.
It does sound quite good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably about almost halfway through, and we're still kind of at the point where all the loose ends are being not tied up, but brought into play. So I've got no fucking idea what's going on.
It sounds good. Looks good. All right, next
You
question.
can read it. You can read it off me if you like. How many books are on your TBR right now? We
Okay.
don't have exact
Listen.
for this. These are estimates based on our last counts.
Physical book-wise,
We'll talk physical books, not digital, because digital is just outrageous.
actually, my digital one's not too bad. I thought it was pretty bad when I was messaging you this morning, but there's on my Storygraph TBR, there's like 98 at the moment, which is not too bad. On my actual bookshelves, there's probably like 100-ish that I haven't read. So I would like to get to them. And then I also have various, because I'm not a very organized person, I have various, like my TBR essentially is like screenshots on my phone or photos that I've taken of books in bookstores going, oh yeah, that looks interesting. I'll read that at some point.
Yeah.
And I have not done that.
Have not done it.
I guess also like my Libby, like I use the Libby app to borrow books from the library. That would also be my TBR, like my list of holds on there, but I can only have 10 at a time. So we can just add 10 to whatever number. I would say cumulatively just over 200.
So for my TBR, I only count books that I own, whether it's physical or digital, not necessarily books I want to read.
Interesting.
In my physical collection of books, I have over 200 that I haven't read.
Jesus fucking Christ.
On my e-reader, on my Kindle, I couldn't tell you. Honestly, it's in the hundreds.
Oh shit, I didn't count what's on my Kobo.
Because if you don't know, Kindle does Stuff Your Kindle days where usually it's a lot of indie authors.
Oh yeah, you get a lot.
Books go up on Amazon for $0 to purchase, but I do believe the authors still get royalties from that.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure they do. I hope so. Hope they do, because otherwise I'm pirating, basically. But I take full advantage of those. If I look at a book and it sounds remotely interesting,
You'll get
I
it.
will get it, because it's not costing me anything. And if I don't like it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But then
that's
I'm
fair.
still at least supporting the author.
Yeah.
So physical books, I think my last count was 214. However, I know that I have received a few books since, because when I did that count, I still had a couple of books that I had bought online on the way.
Mm.
And I've obviously then since read a few. So it's somewhere around the 210 mark, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say right is roughly the same. So we've got a lot of books.
A lot of reading to do.
A lot of reading. And
I'm also on a book buying ban at the moment.
Although I think you are doing pretty okay with that.
I haven't bought a book yet.
I keep putting myself on book buying bans and then realizing that it's completely pointless, because I put myself on a book buying ban and then it was Love Your Bookstore Day or Love Your Local Bookstore, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I went to 3 bookstores that day. And in one I bought 9 books, and then in the other one I bought like 4. And then so I just kept buying more books. So I know myself. I'm not doing a book buy.
I'm probably going to break mine, because one of my favorite books ever, Ledge by Stacey McEwen, there is a special edition coming out that pre-order goes live on the 1st of February. We're filming on the 28th of January for the record. So like on Sunday, the pre-order goes live, and I will likely be buying it.
I think I know you're on a book buying ban, but I think if you already own the book and you're just buying a special edition, I don't think that counts. It is just
to be a shelf trophy.
Yeah, I don't think that it counts.
No.
You already own the book. It's fine. New favorite author discovered in 2025.
Okay, so here's the thing. I only really started my reading journey again in 2025.
Did I just say Did I say 2005? I meant 2025.
And I just said 2025, like a fucking weirdo. 2025.
Anyway, 2025.
You go first. I gotta think.
Probably Jennifer Higgy. I had known of her because she is like a very well-known art historian, and I did art history at uni, but I read a couple of her books kind of late 2024 and then in 2025.
Yeah.
And she's really good. I really liked what she had written. So yeah, probably her. Favorite new author.
Favorite author. It's not necessarily new author, but an author new to us.
Yeah.
I would say, and I'm keep seeing ones and go, oh, that, but then I remember that the first book I read by them was in 2024, so it's absolutely redundant. I'm not going to
I'm still going from some 2024 books, I think, for this, because I didn't read that much in 2025.
No. I would say, and this is going to be me taking fucking forever to decide.
Scrolling through your...
I'm going to say Pierce Brown, who wrote Red Rising, because I started my Pierce Brown journey and his writing is excellent.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Pierce Brown was one of the very few male authors I read in 2025.
Yeah.
But the Red Rising series is just so impeccably done. Like the first probably...
How many books are in that series?
There are 6, and the last book in the series comes out this year.
Jesus, that's a big series.
It's kind of split into two. So the first three books are as a trilogy. Like you could stop there if you wanted to. So
Mm,
I've read the first trilogy, the first three, and have stopped. And I'm going to wait till the last book comes out before I continue on. Um, the first probably 100 pages of book one didn't necessarily catch me. I didn't form the emotional attachment to one of the characters that I think people expect you to, like
mm,
you're expected to. Like a quote unquote main character dies, or at
mm.
least our main character's spouse dies.
Right.
And it's like supposed to be like the whole driving force for him doing what he's doing throughout the books. And I just didn't
Didn't love it.
I mean, I can understand I can feel his emotion through it, but I just
Mm.
didn't have the attachment to her that like I feel like everybody else did.
Yeah, that's fair. That
Like
would
but
kind of
I can understand his motives for it.
yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
fair.
Pierce Brown.
What is your reading goal for this year?
I'm setting a very loose goal of 100 books again this year, with the caveat that rather than having a hard and fast rule of 100, like
Mm.
I'm shooting for 100. I at the start of each month am setting my goal based around what I've got going on that month. Because
That's a good idea.
some months I'm really busy with things. Other months, like in April, I'm very busy because it's my kid's birthday. I also have a holiday planned.
Yeah.
And while it sounds like, oh, you're going on holiday, you're going to be able to read a lot. I'll have 4-year-olds.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That's not going to
A
happen.
holiday is not relaxing when you have twins.
Like twin 4-year-olds on a cruise ship,
Ugh.
I'm
I
not
didn't know
getting
you
any
were going on
damn reading
holiday.
done. So, April will probably be a low month for me, but other months like this month, where even though we've been doing a lot of podcast planning, I have had a bit more time to read.
Mm.
And I'm currently reading my 10th book of January.
Yeah, whereas I've read 3 books in January, but in January also we are moving house. So,
Yeah.
and it's like, our moving house is continuing into, we move in next week. So like early February, I feel like January, February will be like a slow start for me book-wise.
Yeah.
Unless I really nail on to doing audiobooks while I'm unpacking. So I haven't really set myself a goal this year. I normally try and set myself a goal, but last year I didn't reach my reading goal, so I'm less likely. I think my only goal for this year is to actually have like a set habit of reading instead
Yeah.
of reading in like fits and starts and stuff like that. Like it's just,
Well, I mean,
I want to sit down and read for 20 minutes before I go to bed.
yeah, a reading goal isn't necessarily a number.
Yeah.
Like a reading goal could be, I want to make sure I sit down and read for at least 30 minutes every day.
Yeah. One of my friends set a goal last year where he was like, I'm going to do, I think his goal was like, I'm going to read 25 pages a day.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, but then it was like around uni and stuff like that. He was like, I read a lot more when I wasn't at uni, which put me ahead of my goal so that he kind of like bought himself time essentially.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't do that. If I'm saying I'm going to read 25 pages a day, if I read more than 25 pages,
You're not going like, oh, I've got a day off.
No.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it would
fair.
be I want to read a minimum of 25
Yeah.
pages a day.
Yeah.
So like it wouldn't have like a cumulative effect for me.
Mm.
But next question. A book you dislike that everybody else seems to love.
Everyone, shut up. I don't like anything ever written by Sarah J. Maas. Sorry, everyone. Do not like her books. Do not get the appeal. To a lesser extent, I did read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros.
Yes.
Yarros. And I liked it. But I think the thing is, with Sarah J. Maas, I just didn't like her writing style. I thought it was really like surface level. I didn't like any of the characters. Sorry to everyone. I just really didn't like it.
To be fair, she has only read the first 2 books.
No, I read all of ACTA.
Oh, you read all of ACTA.
I read all of ACTA.
But she has only read ACTA. And I have told her, and this isn't me defending Sarah J. Maas or trying to convince her otherwise, but I have said that her other 2 series, Throne of Glass and Crescent City, are very different to ACTA. ACTA is like straight,
Porn. But it's not even porn, really.
Straight
It's
up
just
romantasy where the romance is the forefront of the story, whereas Throne of Glass is a bit more high fantasy with a romantic subplot.
yeah.
Crescent City is urban fantasy.
And like Dale and stuff have all read the other ones, and they like
Probably
all
said
really
the
liked
same
that.
things.
No, yeah, really, really liked it. Really enjoyed it. But I think it was just like overhyped for me. I
will agree. It is overhyped. It's entry level fantasy romance.
Yeah. And it just was not my favorite to read. And I think with Fourth Wing, like I really liked it, but it was a big brick of a book.
It is.
But I think maybe what comes into it more is I'm not a series reader. So
you like standalone stuff.
I can do like the Rachel Gillig stuff is a duology and I'm like, perfect. Love that.
Duology trilogy is about your limit.
Yeah. Whereas with like a big long series, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't really have the commitment to do this. So yeah, that was my take?
This is, it's not really that I didn't love it. Like, I liked it, but people kind of raved about it a lot more than I was expecting. And that was Good Spirits by B.K. Burrison. It's a holiday novel. And like, it was cute. I think I rated it 3 stars from what I could see. But some people rated it as though it was like the best thing they've ever read. Like, it's the best kind of rom-com. And I'm like, it was cute. It was a fun holiday novel, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I do know that there are some books that I own that I am probably going to hate. One of them because it is basically a plagiarized version of another series that I did enjoy. But yeah, Good Spirits is probably the other one. Like, I still liked it, but I didn't rave about it as much as some people.
Favorite non-romantic relationship of the year? I don't fucking know because I didn't read many. Oh,
I can only.
did I make? Hang on, I did make notes.
You
So
did
I'm
make
just
some
gonna
notes. I didn't. I'm operating
let
purely
me
on vibes.
refer to the text.
Holy shit, we've been recording for an hour.
I still feel like we're gonna have to record for like an hour and a half too, because we're gonna cut a lot. I think.
That's fine.
You answer because you answer why I
Mine
ponder
is
my all.
probably, again, more recent, and this is potentially, I mean, it's not really an unpopular opinion, I would say, but obviously book 2 of Quicksilver came out in November, Brimstone by Callie Hart, and the relationship that sort of starts to form between our male main character, Kingfisher, and one of our side characters, Carrie and Swift, is nothing short of hilarious.
I was going to say least favorite because I was thinking I can think of a least favorite one.
No, we want favorite.
But I can't think of a favorite one. Apparently, I just didn't write that down.
Oh.
Interesting. I have no idea. Oh, no, but it's favorite non-romantic.
Non-romantic, yeah. Bartholomew and Sybil.
Yeah, Bartholomew and Sybil. It's a good relationship. I like them. I also Sybil and Maud in The Night and the Moth.
Yeah,
I really
true.
like their interactions so far. I love Maud. So, yeah, probably that, I think. But favorite least, I'm going to completely go off the rails here and say least favorite romantic relationship of books I've read recently. And I think about this all the time because it was such a disappointing book for me. But Green Dot by Madeline Gray, the romantic relationship at the center of that book fucking pissed me off. I ranted about that. Justin, my partner, got to the point where he was like, can you stop talking about this book, please? Because it irritated me so much. Really bad.
That's hilarious. What's your reading routine and does it change often? Mine doesn't change much at all, to be fair. I don't have much time in the day to change my reading routine.
What is yours?
I listen to audiobooks on my commute to and from work.
Okay.
I often take whatever book I'm reading to work and read on my lunch break.
Yeah.
And then usually I'll read after my kids go to bed for an hour or two. Not always. Like, some nights my partner and I will play some games, or we'll play games together or play separately.
Yeah.
We might watch TV or a movie or something, but usually it's commute. Like, my hard and fast reading routine is audiobook to and from work on my commute, and then I read my physical book on my lunch break.
That's a pretty good routine. I don't know if I've got a really set one. Like, I guess that's my reading goal of the year, was to have like a more set reading routine.
Yeah.
And I think it will be easier when we move because my commute is slightly longer. Whereas now it's like I'm in the city in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think having a longer commute, but I also don't like reading on the bus. Like, reading on the bus kind of gives me motion sickness sometimes. So I think being on a train will be easier.
It is. I can verify that it is. I used to catch the train to one of my other jobs, and it was far smoother and far easier to read on a train than it is on a bus.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice. I'm actually looking forward to being on a train instead of a bus. I guess the only thing that is consistent in my reading routine is if I'm having a really bad period of insomnia, I'm on my Kobo. I'm on, like, I read the original by Nell Stevens because I woke up at like 1 a.m. And you know when you wake up and you're just like, oh, I'm awake now. Like, I'm not going back to sleep.
Me,
genuinely. So it's my Kobo because it doesn't, like, I don't turn a lamp on or anything like that, and the light doesn't wake up my partner or anything like that. So I guess the consistent thing is if I'm all of a sudden reading a lot of books very, very quickly, I'm not sleeping. So that's
fair enough.
That's the vibe. But
totally fair.
Yeah, I don't really have a strict reading routine.
Yeah.
Really. This is definitely a more you question, I think.
Yeah.
Do you prefer high fantasy or urban fantasy?
Oh, that's you don't even read enough fantasy to really make a distinction.
Yeah, and I guess but when I do read fantasy, I like to read a really, like, if I'm suspending my disbelief, I'm suspending it fully, and like I want the good shit. I want it all high fantasy.
I would say high fantasy because I want a more immersive
I don't want an
world.
iPhone involved in my fantasy.
I can appreciate some good urban fantasy. Like
I don't want a text.
I talked about Crescent City before, where it's an urban fantasy, but it is
I thought it was like more.
no. So it's urban fantasy, but it is still a fictional world. So they have things like internet
Right, you talked about
internet and phones and social media.
Wait, was that the one where you said Facebook?
No, that's Zodiac Academy.
Okay.
So I like urban fantasy where like they might have the technology, but it's not like it's set in New York City.
Yes.
Which is ironic that I said that because the Shadowhunters universe is one of my favorite series.
I was about to say I read the Shadowhunters like I think probably when it came out. I was definitely a teenager, like teenager,
early 20s is when I read it.
Early 20s thing, and I did like that. I thought that was really good.
Urban fantasy when it's done well.
Yeah, but I think if I want to read, I guess like one of the book series that is my goal to read because one of my coworkers recommended it to me based off of my tattoo. I'm trying really hard to read The Wheel of Time, which is a really big undertaking because I think it's 15 books.
I think it's about 14 or 15 books at this point.
And they're big books.
Yeah. There are a few smaller ones, and by small I mean they're like about 400 pages.
Yeah, they're so big. So, but I'm really liking that because it is a completely different world.
Yeah.
That kind of setup
Give us fully fictional universes, please and thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So yeah, I really like that. I'm not getting very far in reading that book, but I'm trying my darndest.
Apparently.
I really like it so far. Like what I have read, but it's
books you in?
I'm halfway through the first one.
Oh. Yeah,
but I do like
I think
it.
It's like books through 4 through 6 or something that are where a lot of people drop off.
Yes, that is what my coworker said. He was like, "This is the slump. You got to get through this bit."
Yeah.
But I think it's good.
Is there a specific genre you like to read the most? If yes, what? We kind of covered the genres we read. I read fantasy. Hannah reads mostly lit fic.
Lit fic or contemporary fiction.
As far as why, I work in a quite emotionally taxing field, and it's escapism. Yeah, like completely out of the real world, escapism, and that's it. It's that simple for me.
I guess like I find lit fic and contemporary fiction really easy to read, and I also like that they're kind of for someone who had previously read really, really long books. I like a book that's like sub 300 pages now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just easy to read. I find it the most enjoyable, particularly like any kind of Irish fiction.
Yeah,
is just
we just
did the same.
We just rolled the same question.
Okay,
I must not have hidden it. My bad.
Are you a rereader?
Yeah, I'll reread a book.
I
haven't reread much like of late, but I will reread.
I definitely was, and I think the difference is now I have less time to read.
Yeah.
So I don't want to reread stuff that I've read before. Whereas when I was like a teenager or in my early 20s, I reread a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like I read Game of Thrones and I reread Game of Thrones multiple times. Like you just were talking about the Shadowhunter series. Like I reread that so many times.
I can appreciate rereading. I like to reread books, particularly if I'm up to date with a series and then the next book is coming out. I like to do a reread in preparation. So
of the whole series or just the previous book?
It depends on how far it is,
how
far along we are.
Yeah.
You know, in the case of, say, last year when Onyx Storm came out, I'd read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, honestly, only a couple of months ago, but I decided to do a reread via audio.
Yeah.
Because they did a graphic audio, which is like full cast of it. I decided to do a reread through that before Onyx Storm came out. And that was fun. Like, I had a great time. But, yeah, I mean, I have so many books in my TBR. A lot of the time, I don't necessarily want to, again, like, not waste my time. But when I have so many books I want to read, I want to keep reading the new things, not necessarily reread the old stuff.
Although I will...
Unless I have a real hankering to go back to a certain universe.
I will say, though, like, I have, read a physical book. Like, I read They Can't Kill Us Until They Kill Us by Hanif Abdurraqib, who's, like, my favorite writer of all time, besides Olivia Lang. And I read his book, and then when I found out that he was the one who did the audio, I listened to it.
Yeah.
And I got a lot. So, like, I kind of don't mind doing that. And even now, like, I love that book. I love all of his books. Sometimes I will put them on in the background.
Yeah.
and they're really good. So yeah, I guess maybe not like physically I'm not rereading, but I will often sometimes whack on the audio
Yeah,
of
I've
a
done that too,
nonfiction book.
particularly if a book has come out in print and then the audio comes out later on,
Yeah.
and especially if it's got a really good audio narrator.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
so
"Sign me
picky.
up."
I'm so picky about the
I
narrators.
did that with Anathema, by Kerry Lake. I read it in late 2024, I think,
Yeah.
and then the audio came out in March or so of
Mm.
last year. And so I did the audio of that because it has one of my all-time favorite male narrators, Anthony Palmini.
Yeah,
Oh. So I was like, "I absolutely need to listen to this."
absolutely.
So
Oh, I listened to Patrick Radden Keefe's. If I was going to recommend books to you, I would recommend you reading Patrick Radden Keefe.
yeah.
Like actually can't. I don't think he does all of his own audiobooks, but I think he definitely does Empire of Pain. Watch me be wrong about that now. Do not Google it. I think he narrates Empire of Pain, which
Yeah.
is his like big book, and it's about the Sackler family, like the ones who are kind of like held as responsible for the opioid
Yeah,
epidemic.
yeah,
In
was it
it was the I think it was the inspiration for Dope Sick.
Yeah, that's the show I'm thinking of.
And also he wrote the book. He definitely didn't do the audiobook for it because it was an Irish audio, but he wrote Say Nothing, which is also a really, really good. If you and Dan are trying to watch more like documentary style thing, it's like a fictionalized account of it.
Okay, interesting.
Really good.
If you were to own a bookstore, what would it be like? How would you arrange the books? Would you serve coffee and food, play music, and where would it be? Well, I mean, we live in Adelaide, so it would obviously be I would like to have it in the hills, but
I would like to have it in the hills.
the problem with that is, like, no foot traffic.
I also don't want to go back to the hills. Like, I'd lived in the hills for a really long time and then I moved out of the hills and I don't want to do that. I don't want to go back again.
No, it would if we were gonna have one, it would likely be, like, in the city or something like
Yeah, I think I would want like a small
Yeah.
bookstore. I
Do
wouldn't
you want
want
bookstore cafe combo?
fuck no. Not after doing 10 years in hospo. Absolutely bloody not.
I wouldn't be opposed to it just for the cozy vibes. I
Oh yeah, I did used to like it when it was
I mean, we
what
love
was the big one in the city that closed down? It wasn't like before like Dimmicks obviously now has a cafe, but there was one was it Borders? It was like the big two-story one. Was that in
it
Rundle Mall?
might have been Borders.
I think
Yeah,
it was Borders. That had a cafe. That was pretty nice.
I can appreciate a cafe in there, particularly if they've got seating. Um, how would you arrange the books? I mean, we would arrange them by genre.
Yeah, I
I
would do
don't think you
genre.
could have a bookstore and not have it arranged by genre.
No.
And we would probably subgenre a little bit depending on what we had. Like,
Yeah.
particularly with, like, fantasy stuff, I would want to subgenre under, like, romantasy, like, have a section for, like, heavy spice stuff.
Yeah, I think I would probably do light kind of like light
Tone.
subtone stuff.
But
I
yeah,
think
I
yeah.
don't think you could if you don't organize it by genre, it's just gonna make it too hard to navigate for people.
Yeah,
And
I you want to be able to easily orientate yourself for what you're looking for. And yeah, I think I would just want it to be kind of like small, nice vibes. Like my favorite bookstore is Matilda's in Stirling.
yeah,
Just it's a really, really small shop, but it's just arranged so well
yeah.
for the space in there and the vibes are really nice in there. So probably something like that, I think.
It would definitely have a vintagey feel to it though for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be really
And
cute.
I would wanna have, like, little nooks where people could sit and read as long as they didn't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. I would want like to be able to sit
We
down
ain't
and
a library.
we end a library, although I love a library. Have you this is not spelled properly. Have you ever been to a book convention? If not, would you like to at some point? Are there any book conventions in Adelaide? I don't think there is.
There have been some. I haven't been to one. I wouldn't be opposed to going to some. However,
I think it would be fun.
I think the only thing for you is book conventions these days tend to be very fantasy skewed.
Yeah, I still think it would be like,
It would be fun, still
it
fun
would
to
still be
go
a fun
to.
experience, I
And a
think.
lot of the time they're a really good place to meet indie authors, like get books signed, have really like
Mm.
personable interactions. I would not be opposed to going to a book convention.
I think it would be
But I mean,
I
you could
guess
look
like
at like Writers Week as a book
I was just
convention.
about to say, like, I went to, like, prior it imploding this year, I went to Writers Week every year when I was at uni, which admittedly was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I went as well. I saw Helen Garner at Writers Week
Oh, nice.
once. She's a fucking icon. Love her. So, yeah, I guess I've been to Writers Week and I've gone to a couple of readings and stuff, but I haven't gone to a convention before. But
They're
that would
not as
be
big here in Australia, not at the moment as they are in,
no,
say, the US.
nah. So, yeah, I would definitely be open to
If
going. I
there's
think it would
one
be
coming, we will maybe consider going to it.
yeah, that would be fun. Favorite bookshop?
Hey!
Definitely Matilda's in the Hills for me.
I've never been to Matilda, so I can't comment on that.
We gotta go. Matilda's in Stirling and then Dylan's in
Dylan's in Norwood.
Dylan's in Norwood is so good. There's just so also they've got lots of the problem with Dylan's though is I feel like I spend more money when I'm in Dylan's because I buy a bunch of books, but then the stuff at the front gets me every like I'm so easily bored. It's got such like cute little like book accoutrements and
Yeah, I
like
know.
little stationery bits and pieces. And I'm like, actually I do need 45 sticky notes.
Yeah.
Or I need a candle or something like that.
I do need a stack of sticky notes shaped like a hot dog. Say Dylan's. The last time I went there, we went just for a browse when I was on medical leave and I just wanted to get out of the house.
Yeah.
We went to Harry Hartog's at Burnside. And then I like Harry Hartog, mostly because Harry Hartog often stock a lot of books that places like Dimmicks and QBD don't, particularly more indie published stuff from the States. They seem to get a slightly better range. They are expensive.
I feel like
And they have a really good range of like homewares and gifty things and stuff.
yeah,
I know you're
I haven't been.
you're
I'm
opposed to Harry Hartog.
opposed for reasons
Personal
that I will
reasons.
not divulge on here. But I haven't been to their new store in
Burnside.
Burnside.
It's very cool.
I've seen it's a bigger space, but I guess like indie published or like smaller published stuff. I found that I get a lot of luck at Matilda's.
No, I'm partial to the new Dimmicks in Rundle Mall.
Oh yeah, I like the new Dimmicks.
I just love because it's a very old building. It's a really, really big space. It's got super high ceilings. It's set out very well too.
Yeah, I do like the way it is set out, and I really, really like the space. Also, they have great stationery there as well.
They do.
I really like. Yeah, I'm happy with
I'm a fan of
you
that.
saying Dimmicks. I think that's pretty good. Do you enjoy burning candles while you read? If so, what is your candle fragrance of choice? That feels very. I guess that's more like you were talking about that immersive read. Ambiance. Although I burn candles all of the time.
I like burning candles in general, yeah. I don't necessarily burn candles while I read just because I don't necessarily have you see a lot of people that like more heavily involved, like more full-time content creators do the whole like reading vlogging stuff. Whilst I do create book content independently, I don't vlog as much.
Yeah, you're not doing like
I need
stuff.
to. I'm going to hold
eventually.
to it. So I don't do the whole setup and like immersively read, but I do like to burn candles.
Yeah, I pretty much always have a candle going. I like either the tomato scented one, the herby one, or vanilla caramel is my favorite scent to do. I'm a basic bitch.
Scents.
Really?
For some reason, they smell. It's too sickly for me.
Oh, I love it.
A really good fruity scent, particularly like a tropical fruit.
Ooh.
Do you think there are any movie adaptations out there that were actually better than the original? We'll say movie and TV show to encompass a little bit more. Now,
I don't remember the last adaptation I
actually, Hamnet, you twat.
Yeah, sorry. But I haven't read it. I haven't read Hamnet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't read it.
I thought you had.
So I did see Hamnet, and Hamnet was very good, mainly because I'm so in love with Jessie Buckley. Like anything that Jessie Buckley does, I'm seated. I'm watching. I just adore her.
I'm here and I'm sad.
I'm sad. I watched Hamnet. Also, the most recent one I watched was I finally watched the 2005 Pride and Prejudice adaptation, and I thought that was really enjoyable. That was really good. But
apart from there's a new one coming up, but that's Wuthering Heights.
Ugh.
With Margot Robbie and what's his face?
Tall guy.
Jacob Elordi.
The tall guy.
I would be into going to see it, to be fair.
It looks pretty good, to be honest. Like I think it looks
They're
good
both
in
very good actors, and I love that we have a Hollywood movie with 2 Australian lead actors.
That's true.
Because they're both Australian, so I can appreciate that.
Yeah, that's true. I can't even remember seeing the whole trailer. I remember seeing stills or like little tiny little clips, and I'm like, that's pretty good. I can't think. I can actually think of one of the worst adaptations, which is Aragon.
I've never seen the movie. More about the book.
See, this is the thing, and this is the Shadowhunters series had the same thing. I think where casting perfect.
Oh, I know,
perfect.
I'm
casting.
still so mad. But I will say I love that the Shadowhunt, like the original movie with Jamie Campbell Bower is becoming popular again because
really?
People are popularizing because he just played Vecna in
Stranger Things. Yeah.
So he is now the hot new thing.
That's crazy that he's the hot new thing because he was the hot new thing when I was a teenager.
Truly, he is still the hot new thing.
Time is a circle. Anyway, I think the casting was perfect in the Aragon movie. It was really, really good. but the movie was so bad. It was so bad. And that was the same thing with the Shadowhunters series. I thought the casting was really good.
I watched the movie recently.
The Shadowhunters one.
Yeah. And I still think it's not that bad.
Mm. Did they make it into a TV series?
They did.
I feel like
I think they did 2 or 3 seasons on Netflix of it. But I
don't think I watched it.
I think I watched the first episode and then just kind of didn't keep going. For no reason in particular.
Yeah, I just don't think I was watching it.
I won't necessarily say this adaptation is better, but I do think it held up well is the Hunger Games trilogy.
Yeah, I think they were pretty good.
Those movie adaptations were done very well.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I liked them.
I do like that they did Mockingjay in 2 parts.
I didn't actually see the Mockingjay movies. I think I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one.
I think they did the books justice. They missed things, but you're never going to get everything.
Yeah.
You're never going to get everything in, but I do think they did the books at least enough justice that, and I'm also very excited for the Sunrise on the Reaping movie.
Oh, yeah.
Have you read Sunrise on the Reaping?
No.
You need to. It is very good.
I do. I've only heard good things about it, but it's like
that's
one of those
actually
things
another
I should
one
get to
that
it.
I didn't like. I really, really enjoyed it, but people were talking about how emotionally devastating it was, and I didn't quite hit that. Because again, this female main character who dies that you're supposed to feel all of this emotion towards, I'm like, I didn't get any.
Is it because did she die before you get to know her as a character, or
not?
I don't know anything about Sunrise on the Reaping. Is Sunrise on the Reaping about
But Sunrise on the
Haymitch?
Reaping is Haymitch's
Right.
So he is picked, and I can't remember if she was too. No.
I don't
recall. I read it when it came out, so shortly after it came out, so it was almost a year ago. But I don't know, it's not that I didn't like their relationship, I just don't think that it didn't feel fleshed out enough.
Yeah. I think that can, and if it's supposed to hit emotionally and it's not good characterization, I guess that could be it.
But no, I am excited to see the movie. Maybe that will make me feel things more than the book did.
Yeah. Shortest book you read, I'm going to say shortest book you read in 2025.
Ooh.
I think I looked at the page count of the books that I read. I think the shortest book I read in 2025 was Weird Fucks by Lynn Tillman.
Yeah.
And I think it was under 100 pages.
Yeah. I have one because it is a very, very short novella. It was very, very much out of my usual reading. It is a splatterpunk horror, and it was called No One Rides for Free.
I remember you telling me about this book.
Yeah. I feel like No One Rides for Free, and it was by, I have to remember. Oh, God.
Oh, and I read, Living Rooms by Sam Johnson Schlee also was really short. It's like 120 or 130. Or I read Orbital last year, which is, I think it won the Man Booker. Mm-hmm. One of the big ones.
Okay. Yeah, No One Rides for Free by Judith Sonnet. It's about 100 and, I want to say it's 150 pages, but I feel like I read it in like 30 minutes. So it might be less than 100.
A quick, easy one.
Yeah. Quick. Maybe not so easy. I haven't read much horror, and I saw a video on someone talking about it and saying how cooked it was, and I just couldn't not read it. Don't read it if you're not experienced in reading horror stuff.
Oh,
or
gory?
At least watch so gory.
Ew.
I'll say not one line, but like one thing that's in it. Pus-filled penis.
Ew.
That's it. That's all I'll say.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, disgusting.
No thanks.
Like, I didn't even give it a rating because it wasn't short. It wasn't long enough to justify a rating. But it was very graphic in a way that like is obviously like disgustingly graphic, but also very graphic in the sense that you were very much in the story.
Yeah.
Like, in such a short amount of time, it's very well written. It's very, very quickly immersive. It is gory and disgusting and horrific, but like it was very well executed.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, that was fun.
All right.
Well, that's
because we have been recording for an hour and a half. This episode will not be an hour and a half.
I'm so glad.
We'll try and pare it down to an hour.
I am so glad that you're the person who's doing the tech stuff. Because I wouldn't.
Don't hold your breath. It might not be great.
That's fine. This is episode 0. So we will be back in
a few days.
A few days for you guys, and in probably about 2 minutes for us.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.